Hi there, my name is Renee and I'm a Zone 5 Midwest gardener. Previously, what was supposed to be a big weeding turned into a sunflower replanting, but that's just not going to get the job done. The weather predicted big storms, they never came to pass, and now I seriously have plants ready to go outside as of yesterday. So that's what I tackled on this day in my pepper bed. I built this 5x5 in-ground about 2 years ago. It was my first big step from porch to ground growing, but tilling was not enough. We have moles very heavily saturated in this area. They always leave a havoc of dirt patches, mounds, and knocked over flowers throughout my yard every single year. So to protect this bed, I dug down about a foot to lay my wire before covering it with a layer of cardboard, branches, organic material, and finally soil and compost. I get these locally every spring from the compost facility in Mass for great prices. My next task of the day is I want to get some stuff planted out. I wanted to do this last weekend. Then I saw the notice about some of the big storms that were coming, and now we still have rain, but I don't want to wait any longer because these guys have waited long enough. Take a look at this. This is a cayenne pepper, for example, out of all the 5 other things in my hydroponics. Okay, this is a massive cayenne pepper in my hydroponics. It cut so tall. This is a basil. I wanted to plant these out so long ago, and time just kept getting away from me. You know, working, being really busy, the weather going back and forth really crazy. Exactly what I was saying about being a Midwest gardener is sometimes it feels like you can't trust the weather or the news of the weather. I thought this was supposed to be a warm week. I thought last week was supposed to be a nice, warm, sunny week, and then we had storms, and we're still, dealing with rain. A little more humidity coming in. Actually, I might take the gloves off for this one. So my task right now is I need to try and get these out without breaking the roots too much. And I'm gonna just have to transplant this out today. It's a risk if it doesn't want to take to the transplant, but it's gonna die if I leave it in here, and I'd rather try and salvage it. If it's a little stunted for a little bit, I'll try and baby it as much as I can while it is in the garden and see what I can do. All right, so take a look at these roots I got in here. This is crazy. I should have never let it get this much. So we're gonna just see what I can do. I should have told you, I have mint in here, I have basil, cilantro, and this one cayenne pepper. I tried to grow this second one, but it's so small still. It didn't quite take to being planted in the hydroponics. It grew really weird. The root started to, just the start of it started to poke up, and then it got curly and fell over and never went straight and tall. I'm just trying to really gently run my fingers through it as if I was running my fingers through hair, if I'm being honest. Here's one. That is well over a foot. Okay, I'm just gonna lay them down. This guy can stay. This one is a basil. Wow, the roots on that are insane. Look how thick that is. My next mission will be getting them out of the containers that they're set in. Okay. This is another spearmint. I had 4 spearmint, 2 basil, 4 cilantro, and 2 cayenne in this. This was a 9 spaced hydroponics. Okay, that's my another mint. Ooh, pulled an extra one. We're gonna definitely lose a few roots on this, but as long as I can try and salvage the majority. There's one. The cilantro's not doing too hot. Definitely getting a little bit of it's okay. Alright, the last 2 in this mess is these ones. This is just for my basil and my cayenne. I'm going to try to carefully just rub them apart. Give some of them a little tug. we got our first one. This is the basil. Obviously, we lost a little bit. It's kind of right there on the stairs, if you can see. Here, and some pieces, but overall, it's a good amount, but in comparison to how much is still here, what it completely had, I'm not mad about it. I'm really happy I could get this out without having to cut the plastic or without having to, you know, it would have became a wasted basil because it would have started to die from me not having the space inside for it. So we got one. I'm going to do the same to the others. I kind of just ran my fingers through it to untangle it as much as I could so that I could pull it through the gaps without it catching and ripping against each other. So finger brushing is the way to go. Let's try doing the cayenne next. So I just try to gently pull them apart from each other near the gaps in the plastic. There, we kind of had one. It's a little bit of breakage, but still got a lot. I'm gonna do that the rest of the way. And as I try to start pulling it through, where I see it slightly catching, I try to kind of push the roots through and feed it through the spot that it's supposed to go. If the only reason that it's catching is it just is getting slightly caught on it. But if I see like there's a big tangle, I'm not going to try and force it through because it'll just rip the roots. So just trying to detangle and then gently wiggle. All right, getting close. There we go. Pretty minimal root. Got most of that one. So this is what we have about all the root loss I had in doing that, but in just about all of it, really long, looks really good. So I'm going to start planting, and the first one I'm going to plant out is the pepper. So we are going to go to my pepper bed. I actually like to call it my salsa garden. The first year, which would have been 3 years ago now, we did Trinidad, Scorpion, Carolina Reaper, and then regular jalapenos because my husband loves spicy, and we dehydrated, ground it up, and turned it into a spice. This is our first time trying cayenne. I'm excited to see how it goes, so let's get into it. There are a few things on this planting that don't make it into the video because my phone died, so to give you a quick explanation, both my cayenne pepper and big basil, I plant them in this salsa garden. I plant my big cilantro in the 4x6 raised bed, which you'll see in a moment, and I put the rest of my plants, which was the small basil, small cilantro, and 4 mint, all in my porch containers. Then, once I got my hydroponics plants replanted, I went ahead and moved some starts to the raised bed to open up my kitchen counter space. Take a look, enjoy, and thank you for watching. I do have one really massive cayenne that I planted out already. Here is a basil that got really big and too big for the inside. On the sides, I have cilantro, and those are marigold starts. More marigold starts. The tiny green is carrots. I have 2 eggplant. This is all broccoli, and then all of this is Brussels sprouts. And then last but not least, my pride and joy, my lilac that is flowering for the very first time. So happy.